Hi there, my name's Trisha and I'm here to share a chapter of my life that led to a recent divorce. I'm a 30-year-old woman fresh out of a marriage with my now ex-husband, Jacob. Let me walk you through our living situation, which played a crucial role in the events that happened that led to the divorce. It was a modest setup, just Jacob, his mother Kathy, and me. We lived together. I know living with the mother-in-law never turns out to be a great idea, but in our case, we did not exactly have a choice. We were not rolling in riches, not by a long shot. To be brutally honest, we were cruising at an okay level. Our financial boat was not sinking, but it was not exactly a luxury yacht either. Now, let me rewind a bit. Jacob and I met at a speakeasy. It was love at first sight after 2 years of dating. We finally eloped instead of taking the traditional route. Kathy lived with us from day one of our marriage. She was a little problematic initially, but I figured what mother-in-law is not. Everything was going well between me and Jacob. Each day was not all sunshines and rainbows, but that is what marriage is, right? 2 years into our marriage, that's when things started to shift. One day I walked into the house after my 8-hour shift at work and found Jacob and Kathy pacing in the room. "Hey, what's up? You both seem really nervous." "Nervous? Heck yeah, I'm nervous because I just lost my job." "Oh no, what happened? I'm so sorry." "Well, my boss told me they were having cutbacks, and guess who was the unlucky bastard? Me. Looks like I will be on the job hunt for a while. This is so frustrating, I feel like shit." "Honey, don't give up. You will land another job in no time, I'm sure." "Well, he will of course, but for now everything falls upon your shoulders, Trisha. You are the only person bringing in some money in this house. It is your duty to take care of our needs now." "Well, these are tough times. We are literally living paycheck to paycheck, but I can dip into my savings for the mortgage and other stuff." "What about your plan to start that ceramics and pottery business? Weren't you saving up for that?" "Well, starting an online store can wait. Right now we need money to keep this roof over our heads and dinner on our table. I am willing to pitch in." "Thanks, honey. I'm really glad you understand the gravity of this situation." "Good. Now that's settled. I think you should give me your paycheck every month, Trisha. I have got more experience handling finances in this house." "I'm not sure about that." "Come on, she's not asking for your life savings. Just hand over your paycheck every month to Mom. She's just looking out for us." "Okay, fine. I'll contribute to the household expenses. But Kathy, we need to find a fair way to manage this. I won't hand over everything without some clarity." "Well, I think it's only fair. I will take care of the bills and you can focus on earning." "Whatever. Just figure it out. I need some time to process all this. Looks like I'll be staying at home for a while now." That was the day everything changed. Handing over my entire paycheck to Kathy did not sit right with me, but they outvoted me in the end. My paycheck barely covered the mortgage and a week's worth of groceries. I had plans for the money I had been saving for a long time, starting an online store for my passion for cute and aesthetic pottery. However, family needs came first, or so I thought. Little did I know Kathy and Jacob would get too comfortable living off of my money. Reluctantly, I handed my salary to Kathy, and she covered the mortgage and other essential groceries for the first month. But within 2 weeks, we were running out of supplies. According to our plan, we were supposed to dip into my savings, and so I did. However, Kathy and Jacob began asking for money for things that were not important. Considering we were literally running out of funds, Jacob took impromptu getaways with his friends, arguing that it would relieve stress, and spent hundreds of bucks. Kathy decided to spruce up the house with unnecessary home decor items. She also decided to indulge in a shopping spree for expensive clothing and bought stuff from stores we had never stepped in before. It was like they thought that money was growing on trees. While I was trying to save for the future, they were draining funds on high-end fashion and getaway trips that were not essential. Now, let me enlighten you with Jacob's attitude during the tough times. It was a whole different saga with him. It was like he had taken a permanent vacation from job hunting. I did not see a hint of struggle or effort to secure a new job. It was as if he had gotten too cozy with the idea of not working and enjoying the ride. At first, I tried not to pry too much. I figured maybe he needed a breather after losing his job. We all do, right? But as the days turned into weeks and a whole month went by, there was no sign of him even lifting a finger to apply for jobs. The bills were not going to pay themselves and my savings would not last forever. So I decided to have a little talk with him. Jacob, we need to talk. I've noticed you have not started applying for jobs. When are you going to get to that? Well, I will get to it soon. My savings won't last forever, you know. We have to consider our future. Can't I enjoy my beer without you nagging? What is the big deal? I get it, but those outings with your friends are costing me. Plus, I am covering your mom's shopping. Maybe talk to her about it too. Do not act like you're in control just because you're bringing in money. I will apply when I want. Stop pushing me to do things I'm not ready for. Jacob, my dreams matter too. It is not just about my passion. I want to contribute to all of us. If I start my business and it takes off, living conditions would improve not just for me, but for you and Kathy as well. Now, with the money drain, I'm uncertain about everything. Can you please do this for me? Spare me your sob story, Tricia. How can you handle a business when you cannot even handle us? Well, maybe your plans were not as foolproof as you thought. It is not about being foolproof. It's about making an effort. You should be making an effort too, for all of us. I don't need a lecture from you, Tricia. Don't act like you own this place. Now get out of my way and let me watch TV in peace. Another month went by and the little chat I had with Jacob seemed to have fallen on deaf ears. No job applications, no signs of him making an effort. It was becoming frustrating. On top of that, his mom's spending habits were draining my savings faster than I anticipated. Half of what I had saved was already gone. It felt like a never-ending cycle of financial strain. I was growing increasingly irritated. And then things spiraled out of control. Hey, Tricia, there's something I need to talk to you about. Sure, what's on your mind, Kathy? I hope you won't be upset, but I had to cash out the check you gave me. I could not resist getting this fabulous new sofa. And, well, now I need you to cover the mortgage for this month from your savings. What? Seriously, Kathy? That is a bit reckless. How could you spend the money like that when you know that we are barely making it through the month? I know, but the deal was too good to pass up. Plus, the store is delivering the couch tomorrow. It is this stunning grey piece. We did not need a new couch, Kathy. Trust me, we did need it. And since the purchase is done, we have to deal with it. The couch is going to add so much to the living room. Now, hand me over some money before we get kicked out of here. Don't forget that it is your job to provide for me. I'm your mother-in-law. Have some respect. Fine, but this is the last time. Please, Kathy, let us be more responsible with our spending. There I was, facing the grim reality of our financial mess. Kathy's spending sprees had practically vacuumed my savings, and Jacob seemed content in his own little bubble of enjoyment. Our relationship, well, let us just say it was on life support, and communication was practically non-existent. As the months trudged on, my savings were reduced to a couple $1,000s. I talked to Kathy and Jacob about it. They were very chilled out about it and ordered me to do whatever it took to bring in the money. They decided to dump everything on me and turn a blind eye to it as long as they were living comfortably. It was a tightrope walk, and I knew I had to make a tough call for the family. Reluctantly, I pulled the trigger and sold our only family car. Not because I was feeling fancy and wanted the money for my own selfish purposes, but out of sheer necessity. My salary alone could not even manage a month's worth of groceries after paying the mortgage, let alone cover other crucial expenses, so I let go of the car after work one day and walked home instead. Hey, why did you walk home today? Where's the car? Did something happen to the car? Well, I did not mention it earlier, but I sold the car today. You guys did not have a care in this world about our budget, and you asked me to do whatever it takes to arrange for the money. I thought it was the right thing to do, considering our financial state. You sold the family car? Are you serious? Where did you even get the audacity to make such a decision? It is not about audacity. It was a practical decision. Nobody was using that car. I was the only one commuting to work with it, and now I will have to figure something else out. Unacceptable, Tricia. Remember, you were just a guest here because you are my son's wife. Where did you find the nerve to sell it without consulting us? It was for the best. We needed the money. It will help us get by for some time until Jacob finds something. Jacob, 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 Jacob this, Jacob that. Why are you so dependent on me, huh? Why don't you grow a backbone of your own? Then you talk about starting a business when you can't even manage the finances of your own house? How stupid. You need to be punished for this. You are not welcome to stay here anymore. Get out of our house right now, and before you do, hand over the money you got from selling our car. You have got to be kidding me. I have been supporting both of you for months, and now you are throwing me out? And Jacob, you are talking about me being dependent on you, and I have been funding all your trips? Where am I even supposed to go? I do not even have enough money because I spent it all on you. Looks like you have grown a tongue, haven't you? Jacob agrees with me, right, son? I agree with you, Mom. I don't know what has gotten into your head. Get out. Go wherever you want to. We don't care. But it is late at night, and that is not our problem now, is it? I do not want to hear another word. Go to your room, pack everything you own. I want you out in an hour. You heard, Mom. I was a mess, tears streaming down my face as I rushed to my room, grabbed a bag and threw in whatever I could find, essentials, clothes, you name it. I was panicking and had no real plan in mind, so I grabbed all the money I had, which was only $1,000, as Jacob and Kathy had snatched the cash I got from selling the car. Talk about a low blow. I was left in this total haze, not knowing what the heck to do next. I did not have any solid friends to help me, and the only option I was left with was to contact my dad. And my relationship with my dad, let us just say it has been on the rocks since my mom passed away. My dad and I drifted apart, and my wedding was the last time we had seen each other. With limited options, I decided to reach out to him for help. I headed to the bus station, bought a ticket, and anxiously awaited the arrival of the bus. The next morning, after a seemingly endless 6-hour journey, I found myself standing outside my dad's house. I knocked on the door, not sure what kind of response I would get. Hey, Dad, it's me. I know it's been a long time and I didn't plan on dropping by like this, but I had nowhere else to go. Oh, honey, hi. Are you fine? You look terrible. I had a rough night. No need to say sorry. Come on in. Let us catch up. I'll grab your bags. My dad took my bags and we headed into the house in the living room. It looked pretty much the same. I was glad that my dad had framed pictures of me and my mom on the walls. Dad got me a glass of water and we finally got talking. Thanks, Dad. So, what has been happening, Tricia? I'm worried about you. Dad, Jacob lost his job a few months ago. You remember Kathy, my mother-in-law, right? Kind of vaguely. Well, after Jacob's job went out the window, they started leaning entirely on my paycheck and savings. I had stashed some money away for a little business venture, just a side gig. But let us put that aside. I ended up covering their mortgage and all the household needs. Jacob, though, got too comfy and did not bother looking for a new job. And Kathy? She practically burned through my savings, ran out of money really quickly. Talking to them about it was like talking to a brick wall. So to keep things afloat, I had to sell our family car. They were not thrilled, and well, they kicked me out last night. Now here I am with no plan and nowhere to go. I hate to be a burden, but could you give me a couple of days to sort things out? Seriously? That is brutal. How could they do that to you? Look, Tricia, I know we have not been in touch for over 2 years and it has not been the same since your mom passed. I have been going to therapy, trying to better myself. Surprisingly, I have been thinking about reaching out to you for the last few months, but I did not have the guts to face you after I pushed you out. Your sudden appearance today feels like a sign. Maybe it's a step for me to mend things with my only daughter. Stay as long as you need. You're more than welcome. Thanks, Dad. It means a lot. I'm relieved to hear you're working on yourself. I appreciate the offer, and I promise not to overstay my welcome. So there I was, settling into my dad's place. The first few days were a tad awkward, considering we had not been in each other's lives for a very long time. But as time rolled on, we found ourselves getting more comfortable around each other. It was a welcome change. Soon after, I received my resignation letter from work. With my dad expressing his desire for me to stay, I decided to explore job opportunities in the same town. It was not in my initial plan to reside with him, but being in close proximity sounded like a good idea. The chance to visit more often was enticing. As the days passed, we bonded even more. It felt like I was getting my old dad back, the one I knew during my teenage years before my mom passed away. Soon, I bagged a new job. Hey, Dad, I just got a call from one of the places I interviewed for, and they want me to work with them. That's amazing, honey. I'm so proud of you. Well, I just want to thank you for supporting me this past month. It meant so much to me. You're always welcome, sweetheart. I have been thinking about your business venture you told me about the other day. The pictures you showed me of your work were great. What if you stay here, save on rent, and I invest in your business? In a few months, you can achieve your dreams. That is such a generous offer, Dad. But I don't think I can accept it. You've already helped me so much. What's mine is yours, Tricia. Who do you think all this money is going to go to after I pass away? Well, you're not going anywhere. Don't say that. Better to invest in my daughter's dreams than hoard wealth. I'm simple. I don't need the glitz. Think about it and let me know. Sure thing, Dad. By the way, what's the situation with Jacob? Did he try reaching out to you? Well, he did. I'm thinking of divorce, but I need some time. Right now, I just want to focus on myself. After Dad's generous offer, I decided to dive headfirst into my business dream. It was something I had been yearning for, and this was my chance. Without wasting any time, I gathered the material, started planning the first batch, and hired a website creator along with a few employees. Juggling this with my part-time job was not a walk in the park. Days turned into nights as I poured my heart. People began to notice my creations, and the right marketing strategies worked wonders. Slowly but surely, orders started pouring in. I was managing a job and my business. It wasn't easy. In about 1.5 years, my life had taken a complete turn. It felt like a miracle. The business I started as a side hustle had become my main gig, and the financial stability it brought was life-changing. I could not believe the transformation from struggling with finances to being a successful entrepreneur. It had been ages since I laid eyes on Jacob and Kathy. The more time passed, the clearer it became. I deserved better. The way they treated me, using me like a doormat, was downright heartbreaking. So I decided it was time for a change, time to take a stand. I called up my lawyer and we embarked on the journey of divorce. Going through the legal process was not a walk in the park, but every step felt liberating. Jacob seemed oddly content with the idea of divorcing me, probably clueless about the business I was running until it was brought up. I kept it under wraps, planning a surprise visit to drop off the divorce papers personally. I wanted them to see my new strength and success, to understand that kicking me out over a worn-out family car was a colossal mistake. So imagine their surprise when I rolled up to their place, not in just any car, but a sleek BMW. Call it petty, but sometimes a touch of revenge feels sweet. Hey, I'm here to drop off the divorce papers. Whose car did you borrow? Or are you a chauffeur for rich people now? Actually, that car belongs to me. There's no way. How on earth did you afford that? Believe it or not, it's mine. What? I don't buy it. That car looks amazing. How did you manage to afford it? Seems like once you get rid of toxic people from your life, you achieve great heights. Well, it must be your dad's money. I bet you're useless and can't do a thing on your own. By the way, it's not just the divorce papers I wanted to drop off. Here's a little gift from me, a parting gift, you might say. A vase from my store. What do you mean, a vase? Did you start that nonsensical store you used to talk about? Yes, the same nonsensical store that helped me purchase this car. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. It's not fair. Trisha, I know we are going through a divorce. I just wanted to say my life is a mess. I have got a low-paying job that barely keeps up the house. We cannot even afford to eat 3 times a day. I know what we did that night was cruel. We should not have kicked you out over a car. But look at you now, owning an expensive BMW. Do you think you can help us? Jacob, how can you even ask me that? Do you not realize how you tried to ruin my life? You used me to pay your bills for months while you were enjoying your time at the house, living off my money? This is so hilarious that you even think I would try to help you. Mom, please say something. Trisha, please, we're desperate. Desperate or not, it is not my problem anymore. You made your bed. Now lie in it. Trisha, I messed up big time. I regret everything. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive me? Oh, forgive and forget, right? That's rich coming from you. I'm done being your safety net. Trisha, I beg you, we're drowning here. Drowning or not, I have got my own life to live now. Good luck figuring things out without my money. The shock on Kathy and Jacob's faces when they saw my fancy BMW was priceless. It felt good, you know, satisfactory. They are the same people who used me and then kicked me out when they were done with me. Now Jacob, who never had the drive to make it big, is begging me for help. Well, I can't help him, not after the way they treated me. I have finally rid myself of their toxic presence. For me, this is just the beginning of the success ladder, and let me tell you, it is a great feeling to climb it without dragging their dead weight along. Life's too short to be weighed down by those who never appreciated what I brought to the table.